Hi, I'm Eddie Williams.
And I'm Nefra Burlock, and today we're outside of Cook County Sheriff's Department of Women's Justice Services.
And welcome to Travelers with Disabilities Having Fun. Today we're going to meet an extraordinary group of women who have turned their lives around to help others. And Nefra is going to take you inside where we can meet these women.
We're going to find out what they're doing and why they do it. Let's go inside.
My name is Marian Hatcher, and I am the assistant to the executive director of Women's Justice Services. I came to this place by way of handcuffs. I am a growing incarcerated female, recovering addict, 5.5 years. My recovery started in this program. Instead of doing 3 to 7 years in the penitentiary, I was blessed to be able to do a sentence of 120 days in our program, residential program here. And what happens inside our program is it offers services, obvious services, of course, permanent classes, things like that, communication, coping skills, all the things you would expect. But they also offered support services through the Power Alumni Association. And today I'm the secretary of the organization. But what happened inside the jail was I was offered the opportunity to come after I got out to Women of Power by Lisa, who was the person that was my draw to this program. So she told me just to show up. She gave me a number, I called her, and I showed up and received the support and the guidance of her as a mentor, a peer mentor, as well as the nurturance of this department. And Women of Power and Women's Justice Services has become such an important part of my life as a result. I pretty much do a great deal in the office as the assistant to the ED, but I also get the opportunity to do some direct service here and there when these two need backup, but I get more of an opportunity with our traffic response team doing interventions in the street.
Okay. And what's your name?
My name is Lisa Cunningham. I am peer coordinator for the Cook County Department of Women's Justice Service here at the Sheriff's Department. And I came here by handcuffs also. And I was afforded, we have a program called Sheriff Female Furlough Program. I transitioned from Division 4 from the jail into our program where I was able to go home and on house arrest. I am a mother of 5 children, and that gave me a chance to go home to be with my children. And pretty much that is what that program gives a woman an opportunity, if you do have some little ones out there, to be able to go home and tend to them while facing incarceration. Instead of serving 5 to 10 years in the penitentiary, I did 7 months on Sheriff Female Furlough. Wow. And my case was theft. Those were my charges. And I also ran away from home at the age of 16, where I just led a whole lifestyle of wrong choices and unhealthy relationships and all of the sorts. I have prostituted my body, had domestic situations, I've been homeless, I've been a whole lot of things. Today, Brenda says it real well, from an unfit mother to a fit mother. From an unfit woman to today I am a fit woman with growing challenges. And what we do is try to bring something different to the women today on a peer-to-peer kind of connection piece with showing them how we had to rebuild our lives and trying to help them to rebuild through nurturing, like Marian stated. It took a lot of nurturing to bring her back to life, to bring me back to life. And that's what it does. It takes a lot of nurturing. It takes a lot of love. Some things that we were not offered in the streets was love, someone to sit and listen to us. So those are the things that we do on the intervention piece with the women, and showing them that if I can do this, you can do this too. I'm also coming up on 7 years clean. I have 6.5 years clean off of drugs and alcohol and just everything. And prostitution. That too. That used to be my ways and means of survival for anything. If I needed a bill paid, I would go and try to find me an old pappy to go and lay down with and to get money. You know, I was just thinking about that this morning. I was like, wow, I prostituted way beyond the time period, the little times that I didn't think that they were, but for real, it was. he wasn't my man. It was just, I need you to give me this money, and this is how much I need, and we lay down, and I'll see you afterwards, you know. That's how it was, and so that's prostitution.
That's actually very common with a lot of people that don't even call themselves prostitution.
Yes.
It's almost become a way of life.
They don't have an idea
Yeah.
of what to name it or what to call it.
Right, right. And what's your name?
My name's Brenda Myers-Powell. It's funny, I'm sitting here thinking of how did I get here, and what would my chapter start with? It would probably start with when I came into the world. My life has been directed toward what I'm doing since I came into this world. I was born on the west side of Chicago, and to a 15-year-old girl who died at 16. And when I was 6 months old, my mother died, and I was given to put into the care of my grandmother. Started being molested at the age of 4 or 5, and the chapters have continued since then of my direction toward this place in time in life where I am right now. Been all over the world, been all cross country prostituting. I started prostituting at an early age of 14 years old in order to escape the molestation and the tragic and the abuse that was going on in my home life. But been all cross country. Came back home to Chicago, and I know that everything that happened to me has directed me toward where I am today. You know, been shot 5 times, stabbed over 13 times in my prostitution. I'm here today living because this was my direction to be here, to help other women. I started my journey in 1997, disfigured, being drugged down the street by my last trick, skin torn off my body, and I went to a place where I got that nurturing, hospitality, and rebuilding. Mm-hmm. It took a village to raise me again. Yeah. And I met Jennifer Black, Terry McDermott, and Debbie Ryan in the process of me making that journey in 2002. And at that time, I was looking for any women who were strong, who that I could look up to, who I could feel connected to. Mm-hmm. And my passion at that time already was helping women to recover from prostitution, because I had. And it was just my direction from God in order to help other women, because I know what he said. He said, go back and help the women where you came from. Right. So that was my journey. That was my journey I was on. And I met these 3 women at a meeting, and it wasn't that they were any different than I. They respected me, and I respected them, but they were a beacon of hope for me. And I said, because I can do that too. I can be just like that, you know. And that was my journey. How do I get to that point? How do I become a lady and stop being a prostitute? Mm-hmm. Stop having those tendencies, stop having those ways. So I kind of used to look at ladies as my example and say, well, I'm going to be like her, and I'm going to, you know. Yeah, but always wanting to be me, right, but getting those, you know, that stuff from them. And connected with them in many venues such as the Park Prostitutes Alternative Roundtable, the Mayor's Office for Domestic Violence and Intersystem, just doing the work, being an advocate, being the face for prostitution. When I say being the face, not being afraid to tell my story, right, so that another woman can get help from that. Right. That's been my journey. That's where I've been. And they never forgot who I was, and when they started formulating this office and doing what they needed to do, they called me and asked me would I come aboard, would I come, you know, here also. And I was excited. I was glad, because I've done so many things in my life, and it's an honor for people to come and say, hey, I need you to come over here and help me with this, because of, you know, my understanding and my expertise in my life. I can use my life experiences to help other women. And that's so a need, because no one can understand another woman that's going through this, but another woman is going through this. That's going through it, right. So my journey here was the last I ain't gonna tell how old I am. The last couple of years. I've been on this earth, but so
Yeah. And it's good that you bring up God, because all three of you, to me, sitting here in front of me, are a blessing and are a beacon of hope to many other ladies that have yet to come to the point where they've hit ground zero, or they just are themselves, are like, I need a change, you know. And personally, do you think, because I know, you know, the saying is that you're not going to get change, or, you know, change unless you're ready for it. You know, like you say, you're not going to stop smoking until you're ready to stop smoking. Is that what you say, the same cases with most of the women that come through here, like whatever means they're brought through here, they come to this point? Does most change come because they're ready, or they are now in an environment where they can, you know, kind of receive that? And whatever you can just answer.
It's a combination of the two.
Mm-hmm.
It's a combination of the two. You have to be ready, and then the help has to be there to assist you when you're ready. The availability for the, you know, the help has to be there at the time you're ready. Lisa can tell you that because we work like really one-on-one with the women, and we see them, and you know, we brief about them, and we have, because we have a sense. Let me say something. When you've been on the street, you have another sense, you know, a sixth sense,
That's right.
where that you utilize, you know what I mean, that doesn't leave you, okay? You know, just like a lot of times people, when we go into the jails, people assess us and do things, you know, when clients come in, but truly a client assesses you already, because that's their street knowledge, and you have to be on top of your game, and know, because they will tell you anything, but you can always see. You can almost feel it and tell when they really want that help. And they are willing to receive it, you know.
Right. And just like I'm sure you can tell the people that are not. Really
Exactly. And I mean, and even if they're not there, we still have to show that unconditional love, because who determines someone's bottom? You can't determine what their bottom is, what their drive is, their desire. I always try to tell the women, keep yourself desperate. You know what I'm saying? Continue to stay desperate for life. And that kind of tends to keep you motivated, keep you moving in the right direction. But we have a lot of women that just show up, and sometimes they haven't hit their bottom, you know, or they might think they've hit their bottom, but they really haven't. But they still, when they show up, we still have to open it and say, come on back, you know, come on in. We just had one of our ladies show up the other day, and she's afraid. She wants to be able to come here and sit because she doesn't want to get high. She just got released back out of the jail. So she does not want to get high. She does not want to go back to this relationship that is very unhealthy for her. And so that's what we have to allow her to do that. We can't turn her away and say, no, you can't. You know, we'll find something for you to do.
Because this is a healthy environment.
Yes.
Right.
But she doesn't know it's healthy. She doesn't have a healthy environment yet.
Right.
But if she comes up here and sits enough, she'll start making new friends. She'll start making a new foundation, finding new places to go, you know, because that's what we do.
Right.
You know, even if we got to send them someplace,
Right.
you know what I mean? I mean, that's what she is hoping that we'll do up here, because she doesn't know those things.
Right, it's kind of like planting a seed, you know, changing
Exactly.
the taste buds.
That's exactly what we do.
Like with kids, they want to eat all sweets, but you know, if you take them off for a period of time, you give them all vegetables and fruits, and after a while, that's good.
But that's who we are, Johnny Appleseed.
Right.
Well, you know, we sometimes call it the last house on the left, so to speak. We never close our doors, close our hearts to a woman, no matter how many times they might be around. Because you say, we know people who have been in and out of treatments 10 or 15 or 20 times, but one day it clicks for them and they're okay. There has to be a place where no matter what you've done, no matter the mistakes that you made, that someone still cares and embrace you and try to give you something to help you change your life. This place for me was almost a magical experience, a supernatural change, because I don't even recognize the person before, and even before I got high, I didn't think I would crack cocaine until I was 38 years old, a late bloomer. I have a college degree in Winona, I had 17 years in the corporate sector, but my story is to tell them that it doesn't matter your education, your background, your income level. Anybody can hit bottom, anybody can go to the drugs, anybody can turn to prostitution, for survival or for whatever reason. And change can happen, and God is at the center of all of that. It took a lot for me to really be able to look back and say, my life is blessed. To be able to say it out loud and know it and feel it deep down inside, because this sister here never gives her home phone number out. That one day where she was up there and I was in residential in custody and they were serving lunch. I had seen her in furlough before I went upstairs to serve my time. I asked for her information because I had seen her and it was like I was so broken. All that I knew, all that I was, had been gone. I was missing for 2 years. My family didn't know where I was. She was something about her. And that's what we try to give, you know. Exactly. And when I called her, she said, call me when you get out. And I kept her phone number just with my court papers like it was a piece of gold. Because right then I had nothing else. And I called her the night I got home. And I had a home because I had family that loved me. I was homeless by choice. I was out there because I couldn't face life and face problems that sent me to the street and domestic violence that brutalized my whole psyche and my whole being, and the guilt attached to so many mistakes I had made.
That's one of the things that, you know, I do want to get into the day-to-day things and what you do working with the various women that come through here. But it's interesting that you say you have a college degree, you worked in corporate America for 17 years. And I want to know, and I know anyone who's watching this would want to know. So a lot of times people think that, okay, well, you have this type of life or background, and that's what ends you up in a particular position as such. What do you think, because even to this day, many women come through here, you know, and even some of the statistics that, and I don't know how updated this is, but from the website, as of 1996, you know, they have a characteristic, a type of woman that is, that ends up coming to, you know, the Cook County Jail, you know, the women offenders in Cook County, they have it broken down. And, you know, 80% are single mothers with 3 or more children. 80% have been charged with non-violent offenses, shoplifting, larceny, bad checks, drug usage, 75 to 90% being addicted on drugs or alcohol, 80% being physically or sexually abused, and 80% suffering from addictions and mental, you know, health disorders.
80% of our women suffer from co-occurring disorders, which is substance abuse and mental health. We also have new research that shows that our women that come through this program, 75% of us suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder.
Exactly.
And that's huge because you have to deal with women in a specific way. There's different ways of treating that kind of illness, that kind of malady. When you're dealing with mental health issues, a lot of time we have to, and Lisa can speak to this, we have to accept the fact that sometimes women have to take psychotropic medication to function. They have to take psychotropic medication not to use, and they don't recognize that. I did an intervention last week with a young woman who was supposed to be medicated for bipolar and major depression, and because she was getting high, that was her substitution for her meds. Today, this young lady is sitting in Cook County Jail facing a first murder charge that just happened. I'm sure you heard about it. One of our interventions, I did it with her last week, and we wonder if she was doing what she was supposed to do with the medication. If she had just showed up the next day like she said she would things be different.
Right.
Sometimes you get that one chance.
Right.
God speaks to you.
But I was listening to you say that, okay, Marion, coming from a corporate background and all the great things, you know, what America has to offer, you know what I mean? You know,
broken is broken.
Yeah, that's what I said. There has to be a common thread that that women have the capability of sharing. We all have the same, you know, inner makings. So what is it that you think would lead, you know, I mean, I know you spoke about your situation, and each of you spoke about your situations. What I think, the very thing that you provide in this service for women is what you would hope that they would get from a family environment, you know. It's funny going over the website and reading about all the things that you provide and what you hope to haven't attained by the time they're finished or graduate from the program are the very things that you think a child should grow up with.
But you know, when you say that, I don't use the fact that I came, you know, from a home like I did. I came from that I was molested. Oprah was molested.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and she's Oprah. You know, had I, you know, had I had that, I think I should have been her. I think she took my life. Okay, but I love her. You know, she's one of my she's one of my heroes, because when I hear that and what she did is astronomical. So I've always set my goals high today, that I could be the next Oprah. You know what I'm saying? That I could be the next a lady that could do anything, instead of dwelling on the past of what happened to me, and the addictions and the prostitution and all the things that could keep me in a hole. I want to crawl out of that hole, and I want to go further. So there, we all have different stories and different pasts, different prices. That's how we say it when we talk to our ladies. But who are we now? Where can we go today? You know, because who knows what is different, and it's nothing different. When I see a girl from Naperville who's sitting in that jail cell, or when I was working, I would catch one of my Caucasian sisters all the way from Bolingbrook prostituting. You know, I mean, from Wilmette, on the west side of Chicago, and I wonder, why is she there?
Right.
What happens that makes her there? It's the same pain, the same things that go inside of human beings that make them do what they do.
It could be from anywhere.
It could be anything. You know what I'm saying?
Background, from
it could be anything. Yeah.
But we try to, you know, let the women know that you don't have to continue to let your past predict what your future is going to be.
That's the
and that the trauma and the pain, you can turn that around for your purpose in life. And be able to strive for all the goals, like Brenda was just saying, you know, all the goals, reach for the sky is the limit. You know, I spent like half of my life getting high and making more bad choices, and God has given me these past almost 7 years here with a new whole different life, a whole new mindset. So I'm like reaching higher and higher and higher and higher, because I missed some things. And so it's still a lot of things that I would like to be able to do in whatever lifetime that God is going to give me here on. I don't want to waste a minute of it, you know, on garbage.
Okay. And it's just like God snatched me out and said, or you finally realize, my purpose in life was not to stand on the corner. My purpose in life was not to use drugs. Today I know my purpose in life, you know, and one of my biggest purposes is service. His service is the rent that you pay while you're here on earth. You know, and that's what I try to do through helping the ladies that I help. You know, and I think all of us have a purpose here that's bigger than all three of us. And some days it overwhelms us, because we have to pull together some days and get in a circle and say, what is going on? You know, because this is bigger than all of us right here. You know, and sometimes, you know, just that little piece we just pulled together and did a trafficking victim.
Pretty intense.
Imagine though, 3 survivors kicking butt doing this, but at the same time watching some of their past here. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm watching her and I'm having feelings, because I'm not only, and I've got to be a professional, but I'm feeling her pain also. But I have to advocate. I have to make sure that doesn't take over my advocating and me making sure that she's dealt with in the correct way, because I have been dealt with in the wrong way, and it had led me in a different direction, or I didn't want to hold on anymore. So that's what our purpose is here, and our job is to advocate for her the right way, but still going through those feelings and having a professional and do what we need to do and get the job done.
And how do you deal with that? Having to see your past in front of your face every day.
We support each other. We know each other. We've opened up and become a sisterhood in this place. And like Brenda, when we deal with the trafficking victim, had some feelings, had some dreams the other night that came up, because we're human beings. No matter how much we recover from whatever, no much how we now know how to cope with life without the use of drugs, without doing illegal things to feed our families, we're still human. We still have flesh and blood and spiritual beings. And we see the pain, we recognize the pain, and sometimes it'll trigger something. And it kind of happened to her. She called me.
Right.
And that's what we do.
A support system.
And she told me what's going on. And so sometimes that's all you need to do is be able to speak into the air and say, look, I had this, dream and kind of messed up about this right now. So you take a deep breath and you can just push on. If it goes too deep, then we might need to talk to a professional because we do.
Exactly.
We
just
suffer
like anybody else.
And I understand that.
Right.
And while I was holding, the victim was holding on to me, real tight. I'm holding on to her, and we're holding on to her,
Okay.
and we're like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I would have to go up the room. I said, "Come here,
right?
come here, let me tell you this."
Quick.
And we would go back. And you say, "I'm okay." She said, "You okay?" "I'm okay." And I go back and I deal with it. Not only do we have each other, we have women here who are Terry McDermott, Dorinda Dixon, Debbie Ryan, and Jennifer Black, who call us in on a regular basis, and they do a wellness check with us, like,
You all right?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
all right.
Well, even individuals that haven't gone through what you've gone through in that working
Exactly.
environment like
Exactly.
that.
Exactly.
You gotta do a side
But
check
it's-
once around.
One of the biggest things that is a part of this department that we have drills on is communication.
Right.
Exactly. Teamwork.
Teamwork and communication. No one is doing anything alone here.
Right.
Exactly.
Nobody's doing it. No, it's not. Nobody is. It's not an I or
Or team, right?
It's
Right,
a
there's no
team.
ID. That ED will let you know that on a
Yes, she
regular
will.
basis.
Yeah.
That no one does anything.
Nobody
alone
does
here.
anything
Nobody.
alone here.
Mm-hmm.
No
And
one.
she, like I said, we have drill practices.
Right.
All right, everybody line up. What do you do?
Right.
We're a team.
Right.
Right.
Who are we? We're a team.
Right.
But it's a good thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It lets us know that we're not alone either.
Exactly.
In anything we do. And it keeps our ship tight. And when one of those clients come in who been still out there and they fast as gas,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
Right. I'm sure it's
We're already on top of it because we're together, you know, because they will come in here and they will try us.
That's what I was gonna say. I'm sure it's important to have a tight system where there's no
Yeah.
gaps
Yeah.
that they can even feel that when they come in.
Right.
You know.